Hello and welcome to the channel, and this is my second time recording this video because my first one didn't save for some reason, and honestly the first one was pretty top notch, so sorry you're missing out on that. I'm not 100% sold on this new video editing program that I have. I really hope this one records, but we'll see. This video is a continuation of what we got from the church basement rummage sale. This was their fall rummage sale. This particular church has like quarterly rummage sales. They'll have a winter, fall, spring, summer. Their winter one usually isn't until like February. Their fall one was the weekend before Thanksgiving. Their fall rummage sale is probably my favorite because it is the half price fill-a-bag rummage sale. I'm not sure how much each item ended up costing us. All I know is I got 3 like 27-gallon tubs of stuff for $21. So I don't know how that works out in the end. Sorry for the brief pause. I had to do it to make sure this one actually started recording, where the other one didn't. So, church basement rummage sale. This is vintage foods. In the last video, you saw the vintage cardboard food. This is the vintage cans of food. I will say these have already sold. These sold within 3 days of being listed. I want to say I sold them for $9.99, which is not a huge sale, but they're incredibly light. Shipping was light. The buyer pays shipping. The buyer always pays shipping in our store because we can't keep up with it, and it's a lot, so I always do calculated shipping. I might get more sales if I went free shipping and then marked up price a little bit, but honestly, it's not worth it for me to keep up on it if I run like a sale or something, because I want to be like, okay, can I at least pay for shipping? With doing calculated shipping on everything, if I run a sale, I know shipping will be paid for. I always make sure that things are weighed and measured so we get as exact as we can on shipping. This was 4 ounces. So I want to say it ended up being a little under $5 to ship this, and I sold it for $9.99. But if I wanted to go in and run a 50% off sale, I could still run a 50% off sale, sold it for, $4, but then I'm not out the shipping because they would still pay $5 for shipping. So that is why I do calculated shipping. Again, I don't have the bandwidth to do that. I don't have the bandwidth to think about everything and do all of that. This is not my full-time job. I technically don't have a full-time job. I just collect part-time jobs like kids collect Pokemon, but I don't have it within my schedule to go, okay, am I going to make money if I have to pay for shipping on this? That is just too much to really think about. I will say, as I'm recording this, it is the 20th of December. We have not made any sales in a couple days. I can almost guarantee we're not going to make any sales between now and Christmas. And if we do, it's like 1 or 2 things. Mainly because eBay's not going to get there in time. It's just not. I'm not going to be able to mail something and get it to somebody before Christmas. That being said, Christmas Day is a pretty hot day to make sales. I don't know if other people have noticed this in their eBay stores, but it might be everyone's sitting down and doing family things and you're like bored or whatever and you're perusing eBay, or maybe you didn't get what you wanted for Christmas, or you got money for Christmas and now you want to get what you wanted. All of that could be a reason. I do see a slight boost in sales Christmas Day, the day after Christmas. Honestly, between Christmas and New Year's is pretty decent sale-wise, and then it tapers off. But it's not as slow as I know other stores are, mainly because we aren't selling toys. We are selling, some of our stuff are toys, but we're mainly selling like vintage stuff or clothes and everything, so that tends to be year-round. Ironically, I sell a lot of bathing suits in the winter and a lot of snow stuff in the summer. So I know some people will go list with the seasons, list with what the stores are doing. That's why you'll sell more. My advice would be list opposite. So let's say I need a bikini and it is November. Well, Target's not going to be carrying bikinis. If I want a specific bikini, maybe I'm going to go look on eBay because the stores don't have it, versus it's June and I need a bikini. I'm just going to go to Target or Walmart or wherever and buy a bikini because they're there. So I always list opposite season. And that's to each your own. If you want to list with the season, that's great. But again, I'll list opposite. I can almost guarantee, though, after the 1st of January, we're going to start seeing summer clothes in stores. I felt like we were seeing winter clothes in July, so I would not be surprised if we started seeing summer clothes right after the 1st of the year, but we'll see. The sales I have made in the past week almost exclusively have been international sales. The two I can remember specific locations were London and Japan. London bought it's one of my past videos, they bought the lot of Air Force training glass slides, and they paid like $90 for it, and God knows what it is to ship to London, so they put some money into this. But I always use eBay global shipping. I do not global ship on my own. Again, I can do that. I know people do that. I know people probably save money doing that. I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the ability to figure it out, and quite frankly, it's just easier to do it that way. And if there is a return or if the item gets damaged, eBay takes care of it. I don't have to take care of it, which is super nice. Now, these are vintage scissors. They're great sales. You can clean them up, putting them in like a container of Coca-Cola, which kind of tells you what does Coca-Cola do to you when it's in your stomach, when it can clean metal really well. And if you leave it in too long, metal will disappear in it. I was judging a science fair once, and one of the little kids was like, I left a penny in a glass of Coke for this long, and the penny wasn't there anymore. And I'm like, oh, that is terrifying. But you can clean them up. We did not end up cleaning them up. The price difference between cleaning these up and not cleaning these up was not enough for me to spend the time cleaning them up. So as resellers, we often have to gauge our time. Do I have the time to clean this up? I have the ability to clean it up, but do I have the time to clean it up? And a lot of times it's no, I don't have the time to clean it up. Also with this, again, the difference wasn't that bad. Like, wasn't that big for me to do that. But these old scissors are great. People take them, they sharpen them. So, story behind this. These stuffed animals are not really animals. These stuffies are something my 13-year-old picked up. Now, the scavenger gene runs very deep in our family. Multi-generations of scavengers. My 13-year-old is the most interested in it, but she's also the one most interested in money right now. And she's actually freakishly good at budgeting. So she's very interested in this, very interested in it as a form of income that she can do because, again, she's 13 and you can't really work at 13. And my 16-year-old's showing slightly more interest in it because he's 16 now, and his schedule doesn't really allow for a normal 9-to-5 job for a 16-year-old. And if he did get a job, he would have to stop doing several activities. And in our house, we by no means are middle class even. We are lower middle class. But in our house, I'd rather have my son and my daughters be a kid while they can be a kid, because when they're 30, they can't do the activities they could do in high school. So I would rather have him do his high school activities, soccer, scholastic bowl, be in the plays and musicals and all of that, take the harder classes and have time to study. I would rather have him do that while he can than not do those things to have a job, because he feels he needs one. That being said, he does not ask for extravagant things. So that makes my life easier. When he starts asking for extravagant things, then we're going to have a talk. But right now, he uses Suave shampoo. It's not like anything really crazy for him, where my 13-year-old has solidly entered her Bath and Body Works era. And everyone out there that lives through the 90s will kind of laugh at that. She's very into Bath and Body Works. She has to have the matching body wash, lotion, body spray. And she has discovered the semi-annual 70% off sale, so she does get it cheaper that way, because again, scavenging. But now the two oldest, when we take them places with us, will look for things to sell. And they'll bring them to us. And they'll be like, hey, do you think this can sell? hey, what do you think about this? Now, the difference between the 16-year-old and the 13-year-old is the 13-year-old is willing to do the work. So she will take the pictures, she will make the listings, she will do all of that stuff. I just proofread it. So the last one she did was a tea set that she found at a rummage sale. I will foot the bill for the original item because none of them have been too expensive yet. So like this stuffed animal lot, I think I paid 50 cents for all of them. So I will fit the 50 cents. And whatever money she makes after fees and everything would then go to her. So that is working out with us. The 16-year-old, again, I think will get into it more. Do I think he will actually go thrifting and actively look for things? Probably not. But I do think he will come across things. Because again, the scavenger gene runs deep. And with the scavenger gene, sometimes you just find things. And a lot of his friends' parents have disposable income and give their children things. And their children don't care about items. So I do think he may come across things, which is interesting. But it does run deep, and that's where we are right now with the kids helping out. So thank you for watching. Please like